Good evening and welcome to another ILR race. This time it's a ILR social race. Did one a couple of weeks ago. We're doing one again. As you can see, it is raining in the not so sunny region of Milan in Monza. Wet quali. Reports say a dry race, so a little bit of a turn up for the books here. I would know. I put it on custom weather, but obviously seeing a very wet, heavy start, and it's now starting to dry up into more intermediate conditions. So it's going to be a classic case of last car across the line. Probably will get pole today. Got a few new drivers today. Haven't league race 4. A few drivers new to ILR, and obviously a few old faces. You can see Afri Fish, of course, the ILR 3 constructors champion last season, looking to make a return at some point in ILR 1 or ILR 2. He's currently on a hot lap. 8 people in the stream. I'm the commentator today. I'm Jack. Got the pleasure of having this disaster class today. As you see, the times will start to tumble now, and we're obviously during quality it's quite clear to see the sort of pace through the field, with the top 3 all ILR 1 candidates. Fat Slag or ILR Stig, so to speak. We've also got Mr. Crumpet, ILR 4 driver in 13th. Not so hot on the as he pops up tonight, so you can clearly say the track's improving. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to go around again. He's got 1.8, so we'll be doing it. This will be his last attempt. So no. That's just disaster there for him. A quick rundown off the field. We've got CC Brain, German driver, PSGL 1 driver as well. Fat Slide pops up to P2, just a 10th behind him. Afri Fish in third. Look how close that is at the front, only 2 tenths in it. As Void's cards, he's been sweating today, clearly with a fantastic original pole. Just under a tenth ahead of CC Brain, but I think these times are going to keep tumbling. We're going to see a lot of improvement through the last few minutes or so. A couple of guys are crossing the line now, as he has got enough fuel, so Voids will go again, so he'll be probably the last car to cross the line. You just see what sort of steps these guys are running as Adam Mako retires there in the Renault. Nigel sitting pretty comfortable in P8. Already down in P12, just shows you these guys are improving. These guys have finished. Farber is on a hot lap. He's run out of fuel. I don't know if he's going to make it. It's going to be touch and go for him. As Khalek now pops in a quicker time, 29.8. Because quite clearly it is getting quicker and quicker. As we're going to watch Oogie now cross the line. He's going to be one of the next drivers to cross the line. Fat Slag retires. Fat Slag's in the pink today. As Oogie crosses the line, he goes second. Just a 10th shy of Khalek, or ILR 1 reserve driver. So you can clearly see he's got the faces of Force India. Frost straight there in the start straight. And we're going to see now CC Brain. He's going to be one of the next drivers to cross, and him, and then Voids is just behind him. So we're going to see where these guys come. It's going to be one of the quickest times of the session so far, and he'll be placed. He's going pole 6 tenths quicker, and Voids. Oh, well then. Well, you can see there CC Brain with an absolute astonishing lap there. 6 tenths up from second place. As Voids an absolute fantastic lap there. Tell you what, ILR 1 drivers, if they're watching, pay attention, because this guy is coming for you next season. Absolute blistering pace. Khalek in second, Oogie in a reserve, recent reserve in P3. Be happy with that. Void's card, slight surprise in P4. Fat Slag 5th, Afri solid 6th, Adam Mako, Nigel, Twaki, Daniel in 9th, Farber 10th, ARR Gizmo, Mr. Crumpet, Mike Short, and we'll go through the others shortly. Gav Pig is he's quite quick. He DNF didn't win a full wet session, so he probably would have been in the top 10 easily, I'd say. Great to see 21 people tune in. Good to see you boys here. Just be me commentating solo tonight. Probably will go. Jack, why are your streams more contrast based? What? Cheers, bud. Thumbs up, mate. As you can see, beautiful conditions here at Monza. It is going to be a dry race today. It's interesting to see which drivers put a hybrid setup on, which drivers gambled on a slightly more wet setup, maybe slightly higher front wings, lower ballast, but obviously they will suffer today, Sunday, for the dry Grand Prix at Italy. Obviously no race this week. The PS4 drivers got Xbox this Friday, so we'll be the only taste of any PS4 action this week before we head into second half of the season with ILR4 next Monday at Monza. Got Crumpet in the comms on team radio if we want to go down, so we'll see how it goes for him. Obviously we're going to do a formation lap here. We'll give a quick rundown then of the grid. I'll give you a quick preview of the drivers. We've got CC Brain, he is an ILR1 reserve. Calic, current ILR1 reserve, he has raced a few times this season. Oogie will be ILR1. Void's card, he's looking to get back into it. ILR2 for sure for myself. Fat Slag, he's just great to see Fat Slag just get out and about. Good to see the recovery from Suzuka last season. Happy Frisch, what can I say? ILR3 Constructors Champion. We're looking for a seat as soon as possible in ILR1 or 2. Paga, we're cheering him on, I'm sure, today. Got Adam Mako, and he says he won ILR3, but I tell you what, solid enough pace today in P7 again, mixing amongst the big boys. So these guys DNF in front, he could be on for another podium. Nigel in 8th, is sitting on the grid. Solid position for him. He did just struggle a little bit in Hungary in the midfield, but he's finding himself a bit higher up. Daniel Twaki, he's in P9. Farber, the Williams driver, he's in P10 today. So middle of the pack. It is a dangerous 10-1 here at Monza, as we all know, so hopefully he won't get caught up in a collision. He's not in the best spot for it. We've got Gizmo in 11th, the McLaren's reserve driver. Probably looking at ILR4 sort of pace for this guy. Mr. Crumpet looks like he's destined to ILR5 next season. He's had shown some promising pace on ILR4 last few races, but not meant to be. Matty Shaw, first ever race in ILR, so he's a bit of unknown even for myself, but I'm sure you'll probably, I'm going to guess ILR4 sort of pace, but so we've got the Crumpet and Fat Slag in as relative benchmarkers. Konzo, first ever race as well in ILR. Looking at ILR4 sort of pace. Gazzaman, Gary Armstrong, probably ILR5. Galpig, 16th today, but not a true representation of his pace. I know what his pace is like, and it's my voice. And it probably would be a P3. Fernandez in 17th. Probably South African, is probably in ILR5. We've got Big Bill, Jake's brother. ILR Jake and ILR2 in 18. The Judge in 19 is South African for Turbo and Bullets. And we got Moppy in 20th. I'm going to take a sip of Iron Brew as the lights are coming on here at Monza. 4, 5. And we'll go here. CC Brain gets a great start away. As they all now go down towards the infamous turn 1. Will they keep it clean? This is the question on everyone's lips. As the judges had a poor start. Corey's already up. As they're going to go 3 wide into the corner. Keep it clean, lads. Keep it clean. And it is relatively clean, you've got to say. I'll have a quick look through the field. And I tell you what, fair play to these guys who've never raced together before. This is one of the cleanest starts I've ever seen in Monza. Fantastic from the guys. I told him to keep it handy. Course already up to 18 on the back. He's going to have a battle to get through the field. But as CC Brain pulls away, and he's already lost it. He's touched the gravel. Oh, he's had an absolute disaster. Another McLaren there spanning the background. There's a couple of incidents at the chicane. And CC Brain with a disastrous start. You could just saw it then, you caught it. Don't know if he took too much care, but hit the gravel trap and he just went for a spin. Monza is like that. It's unforgiving. If you hit the gravel, you're going to go for a spin. And Twaki and Gavpig look like they were also caught up in an incident at the that chicane. I don't know, what's it called? Parabolica? Have I just made that up? We also come across, we're watching Fernandez here in 17th. Going for this tricky Scaria on the medium tyres. We'll get this. Oh, apologies. Telemetry is all over the shop. Let's have a look at the position changes so far. See, bring obviously down 14 positions. Oogie up into P2. Calic in P2, sorry, and Void's in P3. Matthew Fish P4. Fat Slag stays in P5. So good stuff, Matthew Fish as well. Might short 4 places. And a disaster class so far at CC Brain, as is Yellows in Sector 3. And that is not the best starts from some of the front runners. We had it in Hungary as well. Hume, absolute disaster. But CC Brain on the Super Softs has got a lot of work to do. You see some of the cars have filled themselves up quite a bit. And obviously the Scuderia Ferrari are 1-2 currently. The Italian fans will be loving this at the moment. That's what they come here for. Obviously Mercedes have dominated here in the real life F1 for a number of years. That Mercedes power engine, Lewis Hamilton has done very well as going into commentating its west corner in the game. There's a few up for that sort of title there gone in, but tricky corner early doors. Heavy car as well, maybe just got caught out. As CC Brain will start to work his way up through the field. And to on lap 2 for the Italian Grand Prix, and we see Mr. Crumpet all over the back of Nigel. They were battling earlier on in Hungary a couple of weeks ago. As Gizmo on the Super Softs, quickest driver out on this track probably today. It's going to make it look very easy for Crumpet. He does the right thing though, not worth a battle against this guy. It's probably going to be an ILR1 title contender next season, the sort of pace he's showing. But can Nigel defend hard from him? He's already over the back of him. We're right on board here. It looks like this job done. The DRS is not even open yet. As Crumpet may have a little look inside. As he locks up, bangs wheels. Gets away cleanly there. And CC Brain now begins the recovery drive that we've all talked about. And Gizmo and some of the medium runners are starting to slip down a little bit. Sector 3 yellow flags. Gasman's out. Gary Armstrong, the Scotsman, in that McLaren, had a disastrous start. He's out at lap 3. Ascari could be the victim here. So that's our first casualty of the race today. It's going to be a full dry race, folks. So be interested to see what tyre wear is like. I imagine it's a one-stop, super soft mediums. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've done this track. I don't think I've actually raced in a league myself. But Oogie, the ILR1 reserve, recently signed up to ILR. So no current spaces at the moment, but I'm sure you'll get a chance in the near future. As Corsa, is that the yellow flags out for Corsa? It looks like it was. It looks like from the exit of Ascari. He's going to have cars all over the back of him as well, coming down to this last corner. Forgive me, I'm pretty poor with the names here. This track defends neatly, and Corey's had a lot of mistakes this season. ILR 2, a lot of DNFs, and he's showcasing more mistakes here today. Hopefully, he can iron them out. If he does iron them out, be sure he's one of the quickest drivers in ILR 2. But we just haven't seen it today. As Gav Pig, the South African man, takes Fernandez. Sure, I'll be quite pleased with that, but I think Gav Pig has got a little bit more pace. As there's a bit of a Tawaki and Judge there doing battle at the back. Daniel Morgan recently repurchased the F1 2017 to give it another go. So he is quite quicker than these guys, so I'm sure he'll clear them soon enough. A couple of intriguing battles. We've got CC Brain, obviously. DRS has been enabled. If I can get the leader. They've got the intervals on now, boys. So we can see where the battles are going to start developing. We've got Adam Mako on the mediums up into P6. Fantastic start for him. He's the first of the medium runners, so you can keep going. He'll place himself very handy for the second half of this race. Obviously, it could be a bit of a bottleneck here. He's already 5 seconds off that side in piece 5. With CC Brain all over the back of him. I'm sure he'll get this move done very quickly. CC Brain. Let's call him Brain. This goes down to the turn 1. Locks up that front left. As Adam Mako's going to have to cut it. I'm sure he'll have to concede the place back. He can't do that. He has got the time penalty. Oh, very dodgy driving there. He's not making it easy for him. As these guys are bumping wheels, they're not giving a second to breathe. Not an inch. Adam Mako's all over the back of him. Looks like he slightly touched the rear of his car, but he's got away with it. Don't know if he's being aggressive, just couldn't seem to control it on those mediums. But Brain passes him finally after a few more corners than he wanted to. Borderline there from Adam Mako, but that penalty for corner cut was justified after all. We should have really conceded it. All was fair there. And see Ascari taking an unusual line and through there. As we're looking at the back of Fat Slag is going to get sweating in that pink cockpit, dripping the Fat Slag. The opportunity to take an Aaron Afri Fish, who's on the soft tyres, of course. So Fat Slag needs to make these super softs work now before they die off. I don't know how many laps these super softs can do. I know Wet is quite bad at Monza, but my guess it probably is a super soft medium run. As we look at the Toro Rossos and the Force Indias, what a battle this is. Crumpet's right in the curb zone, the entry to the second corner. And it's Nigel, Conzo and Crumpet all battling here. It's a Toro Rosso sandwich for the Force India driver as they're going side by side. Very respectful driving, but this could end in tears. It's not really that many places for Crumpet to go. He's going to ride the curbs again. He's going to he loses the back end a little bit. He's going to lose a bit of traction out of that corner. And into the first Lesmos, it looks like Conso has got the move done. Whoa, as they both have massive tank slappers. Don't know if Crumpet was caught in the day. Yeah, that's Toro Rosso. Tell you what, that ballast might be a little bit too high in that Force India. As Afri Fish is out, he's lost on the exit Ascari. We've seen that so many times over the years. I've done it myself. I'm sure many other drivers can relate. It's a very, very difficult corner. It's very slidey as well. If you get on the curbs, you're out. And you've just seen it there. Absolute disaster for him. He was running so well as well. We hate to see it. A little bit of chopper cam here. We've got Gizmo P14 all over the back of Gav Pigger for the battling for the mediums. We've got two casualties as it stands. We've got Gary Gazman tied lap 2. Just have the exit Ascari. I'm not sure what it was. I think he span it. And Afri Fish had a massive accident out of the exit as well. I think he probably took too much curve in the exit and the high ballast. You can just easily lose it. Probably had a massive tank slapper into the barriers. So yeah, well, Gizmo battling with that car to get it through first chicane. So Force India's off, and that's Crumpet. Not having a great time in these mediums. He's strong at this track. He has shown it over the last couple of seasons. It's obviously been a couple of weeks off the game, so we're getting up to speed again. Final practice, final off 4 on Monday. Probably the only practice he does do. As we are seeing Farber and Adam Mako starting to close up, and this could be another battle. We're about to see there's not too many battles on track, all with a couple of seconds of each other. So trying to find their rhythm, maybe stay out the dirty air, keep the engines cool. I don't want to overheat the tyres, especially for the medium runners now. It's a case of just picking your battles and just getting through the laps, trudging through your laps. Maybe take some super softs on at the end and then go on the attack. We've only got 4 drivers on the super soft, so interesting strategies. Everyone's gone for the reverse. As Twaki has multiple warnings, corner cut already. It is on regular corner cutting as well, so makes me worry what strict is. As we're going to see Farber make a move on the inside here. And very aggressive again from Adamako. It's borderline, but they're going to go side by side now. It's a very tricky corner. You've got to always allow enough space here. They're going side by side, nearly 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour. He's going to try and squeeze them as much as he can. He's going to run a little bit wide. He's done the same thing he did with Brian as well. But it's borderline defending again from him. But something I'm going to take on board definitely when it comes to league racing. It could cause a lot of accidents, that sort of behaviour. This is what the social races are for. I want to see what the racecraft's like. I want to see what the ability's like. As we see CC Brain is up into P5, and I tell you what, after going for a spin, he's absolutely flying. You can see the Ferraris up front. This guy is by far the quickest man on track at the moment. He's already caught up to Fat Slag. Fat Slag doesn't really get out on track anymore. We keep it locked up in the cage, in the dungeons, let her out now and again. So it will be a little bit rusty. As we're going to have DRS now on CC Brain. As Gizmo has left the session, I'm going to guess that's probably into that. He's going to look on the inside for locks the front right. He's going to run deep. I tell you what, he saved that. How did he save that? I thought he was going to go right over the chicane, the bumps, the Sweetman bumps. But as the Renault of Matty Shaw runs wide into that chicane, cuts the corner cut, and we're going to have the Farborough, Matty Shaw, Adam Mako all going side by side. Adamako has been in the battles today. Yes. I don't know if Farber made a mistake or something, but he was ahead as we saw earlier, but he's now back behind him. So maybe error into the final corner, but there are two Lesmo corners. You can see there's no runoff like you get in these modern day tracks. It's just pure gravel. So if you go off here, you're going to lose it, and your race could be potentially over. Adamako P6, Farber P7, Matty Shaw P8, first race in ILR. Farber and Adamako did race a couple of weeks ago. Good showings as well, very promising. So these guys doing battle, probably the main battle on track. We've also got CC Brain attacking Void's card. As Void's card is the pit, so it would be the first pit stop now. The pit window must be open. Void's card's pitting early. First of the super soft runners, obviously the soft and medium guys will go a lot further into this Grand Prix. And it is mediums for Void's cards. I'm sure Fat Slag and Crump would be interesting to hear that. So Void's cards was in P4. He's on the medium, so we'll be going to the end now. 17 laps on those medium tyres. As Corey is up to P10. And Gavpig just gets out in front. So a little bit of traffic now for Void's cards. Let's see what his pace is like with these guys already on these warm mediums. Yeah, there's got a bit of traffic to get through. So I don't know if the Christian Horner. I see this guy's doing battle again. Adamako defending. As Farber runs wide over the chicane, but outbroke himself. He's obviously got passed again. He's got a 3-second penalty. Whereas the two Renaults are like they're doing squirming there. Some of these cars are finding it very tricky to get through these Lesmo corners. Rear end's kicking up a lot. As the Toro Rosso of Gonzo is going to get is looking interested in this battle as well. He needs to keep it very simple. You know, Scori can end in tears. Keep it very clean, lads. Single file through here, and you want to go and attack as Gonzo has got a good run now on Adamako. Adamako looks like he's struggling a little bit on those mediums. Only 11 laps old. As CC Brain and Fat Slag both pit at the same time. So imagine there'll be mediums to the end now. Softs for CC Brain. Well then. As Twaki has another penalty. Fat Slag on the super softs. You saucy bug. Oh, mediums. Oh well. As we cut to Chopper Camp. Adamako up to P5. Guys are pitting. So these medium runners, we're going further into the race. Oogie making these super softs last. He's on lap 11 with them. They can't be feeling too great by now. We'll stick the telemetry on and we'll have a little look at what the fuel situation's like. As you can see, Adamako doing a lot of defending. He's only got 0.7 fuel left in his car, so it's obviously very high fuel there. I would have stuck plus 5 or 6 laps and run it rich most of the race. As the Renault goes for a hit, out the first Lesmo, he's lost the rear end, and he's managed to recover it. Fantastic, but I don't know what Matty Shaw did out the exit the first Lesmo. He just span up the rear. He's had a bit of a tank slapper, but he's still in this Grand Prix. I tell you what, that's save of the race so far. I thought he was a goner. As Oogie pits from the lead. And Kalik in the soft, on the soft tyres, will be running longer into this Grand Prix. You can see how aggressively he does shift down. I love this eSports ready game. If only they made it more sim-like. Just see where does Oogie come out in relation to CC Brain and Void's cards. And we're going to walk around and board with Oogie. And he's going to pop out just behind Farber, which is not ideal. And Reva Benny just got the pit stop wrong. Shell flags in sector 2. Ooh, we're looking Void's cards going to make the move on Gavpig. It's took him a couple laps, so he's finally got it done. We were talking about what pace he'd have. And sector 2, these yellows. We'll try and find them. If only had a mini map. It's the Crumpet. Celebratory spins. Donuts for the Crumpet. They're not crumpets there, they're donuts. Or as you call them in France, Monsieur Croissant. And it's safe to say the Force India driver will be getting back to that paddock and tucking into a cheeky tiki masala with VJ and the boys. Not the race he's wanted. You can tell these donuts, he's in the gravel. I mean, get back in the pits, sunshine. He's letting Fat Slide go. got a couple of disconnections. We've got AR Gizmo and Twaki unable to reconnect. So really got 15 runners at the moment. George, South African guy. We'll give some of these guys a bit more TV time when we get a chance. But Corey, Corey on the mediums, only making the tyres last 13 laps. Now Uki in the was making the super softs last 11 laps. It's really making me think a bit. I don't know if Corey's had a change of heart. Maybe he's sick of these mediums. It's a wing change. So Corey, maybe his hands has been a bit tied there. I'm pretty sure he can take these laps. Softs 14 laps anyway, so that'll be him to the end. Bit compromised now for Corey, but he's sitting in P11. Probably P14 once some of these drivers come by. And there's going to be an interesting pit exit here. As we've got Matty and the judge coming in. Corey's just going to sit behind it as Matty Shaw makes the move. Corey's not going to hang around. As the judge gives him little to no space. As Tom and Jake in the chat, cheers lads, they're saying you can do soft to super soft easy. It's interesting that some of the guys are, as Fat Slag has left the session. Well then. The Fat Slag's DNF'd. You hate to see it. So we've got Bill. I haven't given much fair time here. Jake's brother Bill. Making his first race. So his older brother. Total unknown his pace. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not even going to ask. As the judges of wing damage, maybe it was contact with the forcing out of a Ascari.
We lost it. Besides that, there's lag.
Nigel in P8, Voids in 7th, Adamako in 6th still. So these guys are yet to be. We'll have a quick look at the have a look at the pits. Oh, where have they pitted? Where have they pitted? Can we see that? There we go. There we go. Stops. So you can see not many have pitted. Kalak yet to bit. Konzo in third, yet to bit on those softs. Adamako yet to bit. So Ugi is the net leader of this Grand Prix at the moment. He has got a good lead. Kalak 19.5 seconds. I don't think that'll be enough to get out in front of Ugi. So I'd say Ugi is the net leader at the moment in this Grand Prix. Konzo in P3, be delighted with that. At the moment, be riding that high. Oh, touches the gravel there on the exit of that chicane. CC Brain is hunting them down. It looks like super softs. It says super softs for me, but I don't know on the telemetry. It says mediums. It says softs. I mean, we can speculate. I'm going to imagine it's super soft softs. So CC Brain probably in super soft softs. I think it's probably best if Crumbly just calls it a day, gets in the pits and retires. Absolute friggin' disaster. Adamako in P5. Voids Cards P6. On the mediums, obviously not trusting his tyre wear, so just playing it safe. See where it comes out. Probably a net P4 as it stands. Obviously had casualties of Gazman, Affifish and Fat Slag. And Fat Slag did send me a message before saying the fourth India garage was desynced and was sitting in the lobby, sitting in the pit lane 15 seconds. So my head would go as well. So get tucking into a tikka masala with the boys. That head is well and truly gone for Fat Slag. As we He's trying to find some battles out on track. I'm looking Bill's going for a little cheeky trip in the gravel. Give a little airtime because no Jake's watching, so it's only fair. We'll see if Bill can make this move on Fernandez. It should be easy pickings. Fernandez, South African lad, has got some front wing damage. Surely he can't go Grand Prix with that wing damage. I get pit now and some softs to the end. 11 laps as he's on the final chicane as Fernandez. I don't think he needs to leave the track there, but he did. Goes for another lap, so he's almost ruined his own race. Crumpet is still going round. Maybe we can get a fastest lap at the end. As the judge has gone for a spin. You hate to see it. Not the place you want to do it. Losing more valuable time. We're going to look at any battles. It's looking like the battle with Void's Card and Adamako. Of course, Adamako yet to pit. And Kalik is now pitting. He's onto the Super Softs. So we're going to the end on these Super Softs. So we're interested to see where he comes out. Will CC Brain take him? And Kalik is out in front of him. As Void's Cards makes the move as Adamako pits. And Gavpig has he pitted? He hasn't pitted. So Gavpig is the last of the non-runners. Last of the front runners yet to pit. Bill yet to pit. Fernandez yet to pit. Gizmo yet to pit. But I think he is disconnected. I'll have a look at the tyres for you. So yeah, when this is the net lead now where Oogie's managed to get a 6-second lead. We're interested to see if Kalik can catch up. The Super Softs will die after about 6-7 laps, so he needs to make them count now. Interesting to see if he can. I know CC Brain absolutely flying. I mean, I'm surprised if he matches Kalik's sort of pace on those Super Softs. Interesting to watch those three and see this race develops. Voice Cards on the mediums, not really been able to match the front three. To be honest, I really wouldn't expect many of them to. Front three guys, ILR 1 drivers, Voice Card, ILR 2. Gavpig doing very well on the mediums. I'm sure he'll pit on Super Softs probably this lap, if I imagine. Farber on the Super Softs now in P6 with Konzo right behind him. It's going to show him to a nice little battle for P6, but potentially net P5. Let's have a little look at the chat. And we're going to see if Konzo can make a move as Gavpig does pit onto the Super Softs. He's got a lot of fuel left, so he might just going to be running rich for a lot of this Grand Prix. And Farber's done a bit of saving, he's got a lap in him. Adamako on the softs down in P10, he's lost a few positions. You hate to see it. But you can see there's a lot of cars coming out here. This could be a saucy little battle developing. As Corey's rejoined, get back in, son. Try and get a P10. Few disconnections, which you don't like to see. You hate to see it. So again, these Renaults and Williams are doing battle again. I've tried to allocate the teams based on their ability, the driver's ability. So obviously the front teams, Mercedes, Ferrari, ILR 1 pace, ILR 2 free pace, Red Bulls, Williams, Force India sort of thing. Renaults, Williams, Toro Rosso's looking ILR 3-ish, 4. And Sauber's, McLaren's, that sort of thing, ILR 4 or 5 sort of pace. So yeah, just to get a flavour, so obviously you can have a sort of similar run order to real F1. Just for my own benefit as well, but obviously there's some unknown entities. Like Bill, yeah, it's pitted now, so he's on the Super Softs till the end of the Grand Prix. He's quite a bit away, so it's like quite a sizable gap. Whoa, see a big tank slapper from Adamako Ascari. Fantastic time in there. Oh, you see it so many times, it's similar to what Afri Fish did, ending cairns for him. And he's lost so much time, that could be his Grand Prix over. Any decent chance of points, he may have to settle for P10. You hate to see it. Isaiah Gizmo pits the Ghost. Judge is on the Super Softs now. Twaki only has to report. Crumpet still going round. Corey is out the pits. He's in P16, he's on the Super Softs. Go on, Corey, set some fast laps for us. Crumpet, do you want to just retire, bud? Thumbs up. Just retire, Dan. As talking about the battle, Ugi and Kalak. Kalak has closed that gap by a couple of seconds. And he's extended it over Brain. So Kalak's making these super softs work, and he's the quickest driver out on track at the moment. Void's Card's the only guy on mediums. Don't think Konzo will catch him in time, not 12 seconds. Any battles? We're going to keep an eye on the battle for first at the moment. Probably Farbra on Konzo and Matty Shaw and the Gavpig, the South African man. This Farbra looks a little bit deep then, but I've seen a bit of dirty air on the exit of that final chicane. As you can see, the excellent traction there from Gonzo. I don't know if he's running a manual assist or anything like that, but fantastic exit out of that corner. Here's manual gears, and Crumpet has retired. I think that was only a matter of time. Both Indian drivers, the pace setters, not lasting this Grand Prix, so you hate to see it. As Void's Cards in P4 and the medium tyres. Taking Ascari very handy. He's not very confident on the throttle there, coming out the exit, when it's slightly wide. And he gets on the throttle now. Into 8th gear, once hitting close to 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour. We're on a brake just for the 100 meter board, 50 meter board, sorry. Get it down to just over 100 miles an hour. Let it roll out to the left, into 6th gear. And we're getting full throttle, and you get DRS at this activation point here. He's got not much fuel left, but obviously Boyd's got in a battle of his own. I'll just be looking to take him with P4, maybe hope for any mistakes further up the field. And speaking of a battle, the Scuderia Ferrari fans, this is what they wanted. The Italian faithful, they're coming in their thousands every year. A Ferrari 1-2, and looks like we're going to see them both battle for the win. Kalak only 1 second off Ugi now. Surely it's only a matter of time before he takes him. There's still 6-7 laps left. These super softs will wear off as the Grand Prix goes on. We could see the softs coming just as quick as them, or quicker the last couple of races, as Kalak has a massive tank slap through there. Oh dear, he's going to lose a lot of time through there, and he's going to have to do it all over again. See, that's not the first time Ascari has claimed a few casualties today. Ugi on these softs, he did a reverse strategy to Kalak. Kalak was on the soft, super soft. Ugi soft, super soft. CC Brain not showing the pace he was showing on the super soft tyres, but he's keeping with him. Forget what it's saying on the tyres in the car. They are soft tyres. That's just Cody's playing games. Have a quick flick through the field. Looks like we're going to have another battle. Every time I'm flicking through the midfield, it's a Renault versus a Williams battle. Gavpig on the super soft, Matty Short on the softs. Pretty sure Gavpig's got the move done, so we'll just keep an eye on it for the time being. I think he has. Lovely chop cam here. Going to the back straight just for the final corner of this fantastic historic circuit. Autodromo de Monza. Shame I'm bringing back the old bank corners. Imagine that nowadays. Wow. Obviously, Charlie and the boys don't allow it. Got these bloody halos to contend with as well. I think that battle looks like it's done. If Gavpig's slightly pulling away now. Don't worry, I'm keeping my eye on the battle for the lead. Alex took another 8 tenths out as well. CC Brain is struggling on the softs a little bit. So that could be the battle to watch. Closing stages of this Grand Prix. The quick flick through the field. Corey had a disconnection, but he's going to try and come back through the field. He's going to have to unlap himself, some of these drivers. The judge South African in P13. Fernandez, the South African, ILR 5 next season. Just look forward to getting out on track. He says he wants to try and take home maybe a 10th if he could. So a couple of spots out of that, so hopefully a couple more DNFs. Obviously he doesn't have the outright pace compared to these ILR 1 2 drivers. All these reserves knew that, so I told them about racing their own race and keeping it clean. That's what it's about, and these guys are doing exactly that. Bill in P11. Probably looking like ILR 4, ILR 5 sort of pace, I'd say, for Bill. I mean, it's hard to judge in a one-off race, but obviously we'll do a few more before the end of the season. Bill there in P11, the Haas driver, Jake's brother. Big shout out to Jake. Adamako's had a few disasters this Grand Prix, some aggressive moves early on as well. Borderline, I'd say, especially at turn 1 with CC Brain earlier on in this race, but it's all forgot about now. In 10th position, Matty Short in the other Renault in P9. First race, he does race in a few other leagues he mentioned, so yeah, he's got the racecraft, which I've seen. I'm trying to work out what pace he'd be. I'd probably say maybe ILR 4 for next season. It's good. There's going to be a lot of competitive drivers. It's going to push a few down. Gapig in P8 did start at the back, near the back as well, so it's a great recovery drive. He's, I know he's got a very similar pace even to myself, so it's safe to say he's probably ILR 3 next season for the boys if he wants that full-time seat. So obviously we did a provisional sign-up a couple of weeks ago for the current drivers, just so I can get a feel of who's going where and who wants to race. So we've got currently 5 tiers full, so we could see potentially 6 or 7 depending on sign-ups. Which would be fantastic seeing the PS4 side. Obviously at the moment on the Xbox we've got 3 full tiers with TRL Martin, famous YouTuber and F1 driver. He's signed up as well, so he'll be racing in the Xbox One tier. So if you can tune on that on Friday, guys, Bahrain Grand Prix from 7:30 PM. Ginger Andy and Diablo James, they'll be taking tier 1. And Tish Mashuk and Jack will be in tier 2. And I apologize, I can't remember the tier 3 commentary team. But all 3 races will be streamed at 7:30 on Friday. As I am babbling on, we will look at the battle for the lead. This is what the fans wanted. This is what F1 loves to see. The Ferraris, the prancing horses at home, where they belong in Monza. The Scuderia Ferrari, the Azzurri cheering them on. Who will claim it? Will it be Yugi? Will it be Kalik? I don't think the fans will mind which Ferrari driver wins as long as they bring home a 1-2. That's what Arriva Bene wants. That's what the Azzurri want. It's closing again. These it was obviously going to be now stuck in the dirty air now for Kalik. So it's going to be very tricky. We're going to run on board with him for this lap. See where he's making up any time. He hasn't got much fuel in. Neither does Ugi. You can see the fuel there in the bottom right. Kalik's got a little bit more. He's going to have to pick and choose when to use it. It's sector 2 for the very smooth there, slightly on the gravel, but these super softs will start to wear off now. I think if you Lesmo 1, just want to let it go out wide and want to tuck it back in, down to 4th gear, clip the apex there, go out wide. Don't want to take too much there on the left, and then you want to get in the DRS zone. This is where he makes up his time. If anything, he can sit in standard mix here and trying to save some fuel and go on the attack when it really matters. And that's what he's doing. Shift down to 4, takes a little bit of curve in. You don't want to step the car out too far. He's already had a big moment there. So you can see, not getting too much time now. So these super softs are starting to wear off. And Ugi's keeping it very clean. We know he has. These two guys, a lot of league racing experience themselves. So hopefully see these two battle in ILR 1 very soon this season, but definitely next season. And the gap isn't really closing. It's got DRS once again. You see the sort of top speeds. Ugi's at 2.8 and he's hitting 2.13, so he's a bit quicker. This gap is staying at 0.7. As you see in all in F1 nowadays, how difficult it is for these 2017 and now 2018 cars to pass. Wider cars, a lot of dirty air, traction's very high. You can only really do it in the hard braking zones, 90-degree corners, but you find 10-1's your best chance really in Monza. Kalik really has to keep it clean in sector 2 through the Lesmos. As Ugi's made a bit of mistakes, so he's got a few attempts out of him. He's looking very close now. 2 laps left of this Grand Prix. He's going to have to pick and choose it, and he's in rich fuel mix. He's in the DRS. Kalik's smelling blood right now in this Grand Prix. The 2 Ferraris battling out for the lead. Mercedes boys nowhere in sight. It's not a day to remember for Toto Wolff's team. But Arriva Bene will be delighted, but he'll also be very, very nervous on that pit wall. He won't want these to make a mistake. He won't want to see any collisions. Not like the Red Bulls back in Malaysia. Not like the Mercedes back in Spain. A couple of years back, Rosberg and Hamilton. We don't see anything like that. That gives CC Brain the win in the Mercedes. So we approach the final lap of this Grand Prix. It's been an exciting Grand Prix, and Kalik is trying to close in on Ugi. Ugi had a fantastic stint on the super softs and excellent out laps to take the lead from Kalik. CC Brain obviously with a spin lap 1. Otherwise, I think the Grand Prix would have been his to lose. So obviously, did lose on the first lap, span it. So that gap is not closing. You hate to see it. .7. Will we see anything? I have to stick with this belt. It's the only real belt out on track. As a .3 now, we're going to ride on board with Kalik once again. As we're into the Les modes for the final time today. Ugi's going to keep it very clean. Those super softs will be starting to scream. Look at his fuel. He's only .9. He's in rich. Ugi's in rich. Oh, look how close. Oh no, Ugi's fuel's really close as well. He's gone into lean through the Ascari. It's about fuel management now. It's at .2. And can Kalik make the move now? This is gonna be it. We're going into the final corner of this race. It's less than a 10th inning. He's in the slipstream. He's gonna have to go rich. This is gonna be a battle for the fuel at the end. As Kalik's making the move on the inside, they bang wheels. They go side by side, the two Ferraris. And Kalik might get the move done in the final corner. He has. And Ugi may just lose out based on penalties. Kalik wins by less than a 10th of a second. What a finish! What a finish! I didn't think he'd be able to do it, but he managed to do it on the final corner of this race. Scintillating stuff, and the crowd are going mental. Oh, I'll tell you what, if I was Aruba Benny, I'd be clenched there. I'd be need to change my pants. Unbelievable stuff as Ferrari boys take home a 1-2. Paul McGuinness, not sure if he's watching, but Voigt's card P4, delighted with that. Konzo as well, very surprising. Never seen him drive though, delighted P5 for him. Farber P6, another strong performance from him. But I tell you what, guys, what a finish. What do you think of that finish in the chat? Woof. This is a social race. It's not even an official league race. As Gav Pig, the South African, fantastic drive. One of my candidates driver of the day. If you guys think what your driver of the day is in the chat, let me know. For me, I'd probably give it to CC Brain. Well, he had a spin. I think Gav Pig for me, but I think maybe Kalik for that last move. He stuck at it. The front three and Gav Pig for me, but Nigel and P8, very solid drive again from me. Sure, very good, consistent driver. Taking maybe Rink should take a leaf out of his mate's book. As Adam Marco, a bit of a messy Grand Prix. I reckon he'd be a disappointed with that P9, but he's in the points. Matt Shaw, P10, a known collision, I think, with Fernandez. But wow, guys. What a finish to this race, this social race tonight. The PS4 tier. 2 ILR1 reserves. Wow, banging wheels through the final corner tonight. But Kalik comes out as the winner. And this is what all Ferrari fans want to see in the home of Ferrari, the home of their motorsport. A 1-2 at Monza. These guys, CC Brain, Kalik and Ogie, definitely be ILR1 next season, guys. So hopefully, Ginger Andy, if he's listening, I bet he can't wait to commentate in this sort of action if he gets this next year. Whew, my throat is killing me, but as you can see, a few penalties. But interesting race as well. Front three delivered as I expected, but look how close that was, under a 10th. Fantastic. It's one of the closest finishes we've ever had in ILR. South Africans, Fernandez and the judge picking up 12-13. A couple of DNS and disconnections, which you don't like to see, but you hate to see it. Bill, P11, just outside the points. It's a shame. He'll get up to speed though. First race. There we have it. Voice cards, fantastic P4. Konzo, driver of the day, potentially as well. I had him. I didn't realise it was this quick, but there you go. Farber P6, another solid finish. Gav Pig, P7. Nigel, P8. Adam Mako, P9. Mike Shaw, P10. But fantastic battle, Ferrari drives, Kalik and Ugi. And I'll see you guys this Friday for ILR Xbox. Live from Bahrain, round 2 from 7:30 PM. Tune in on our Twitch channel. I'll see you guys later. I've been Jack.